everyone, welcome back to my channel, The Anonymous Budgeter. Thank you guys so much for checking out the video. If you guys are new here, welcome. And here on this channel, I document my journey towards achieving personal financial independence on a single income. So if you're interested in cash stuffings, monthly budgets, savings challenges, and just personal finance in general, please consider subscribing to my channel. On today's video, we're going to be doing a breakdown of my paycheck number 1 for the month of February. So let's get right into the video. So this is my binder, which I do my budget in. It's a happy planner, and I basically just kind of use it, I use inserts that I made myself to help me sort of like keep track of my paychecks and my spending, because this year for 2023 I really want to do better with sticking to my budget. So I'm just gonna pull out my paycheck budget breakdown and we'll just go ahead and get started with budgeting. Alright guys, so for my paycheck breakdown, again, we are looking at paycheck number 1 for the month of February, and I got paid on February 10th, 2023. So we're just gonna date that right there. And in regards to my paycheck, I don't share my income, at least not the total amount of my income. I will share a portion of it. I don't share my tithes or what else do I share? I don't share my tithing. I don't share how much I put into my brokerage account, but everything else is, I share that openly. The numbers are what they are. I don't change anything or make fake numbers, but I just don't really feel super comfortable sharing my complete income. So just keep in mind that it's about the process, I guess, and don't focus so much on the numbers, especially when you're new and trying to figure things out. It can be a little bit discouraging, but whether you make like $10,000 a year or like $200,000 a year, just having good money habits and like a good routine with your money is going to help you in the long term. So just wanted to throw that out there just to be transparent. But anyways, let's get right into the budget. So for paycheck number 1, I actually didn't really do like a budgeted estimate. I just used the actual number. So we're gonna do budgeted and actual, and this is just gonna be the real number. So after I've taken out all my tithes, and I've allotted for like what's going into my brokerage account and also what I'm going to be saving automatically, this is the amount that I'm left with, or the balance that I have. So the actual is gonna be $25.49.25. Okay, so you're just gonna use the same numbers for the budgeted and the actual. So we're gonna start off over here with my fixed expenses. I am going to, for this paycheck, just budget half of the amount. So it's not going to be the complete amount. So it's just going to be half of what I typically pay in a month. So I'm going to budget $950. And for internet, I'm going to budget $60. For Great Lakes, which is my student loan, I'm going to budget $383. I'm not sure what I will be paying in the future, but I know our student loans are going to be coming due soon, and I guess I just want to get into the routine habit of paying it every month. So I'm just going to start paying it, so once the payments come out, I'm not like, it doesn't really throw me off, unless if I have to pay more, which probably could happen. But I'm just gonna budget for $383 right now. For my FPL, I usually pay between like $50 to $60, so I'm just going to budget $60 for my FPL. Family, we'll come back to family in a minute. So let's go towards my savings. Now for savings, my Marcus, that's my Roth IRA, and I typically put $500 every month because the maximum we used to put was $6,000, but this year for 2023 it's $6,500. So I'm still gonna keep putting the $500, and I guess at the end of the year I'll see how much I need to pay to meet the maximum, and I'll just pay that difference. So I'm going to budget for $500. And then for my Fidelity, again, that's my personal brokerage account, and I have it set up with Fidelity. So you can budget anything you want with that. Sometimes I've budgeted as low as like $20, like $100. It really just depends. And with the amount that I'm budgeting now, if I ever needed to like switch things up or, you know, cut an expense, this will be one that I'll probably, you know, move around the numbers and switch around. So I have good news and bad news. So good news that I got a raise at my job, but the bad news is they're actually cutting my hours. So while it's nice to get a raise, like I'm not going to be at the same hours. My base is going to be lower. So I guess I have to see, you know, based on what that new paycheck is going to be based off of those new hours, how much I'll want to put into my, you know, brokerage account. And that's for after taxes. I do contribute to my 401k. I have an HSA, and I do have medical that comes out pre-tax, but my Marcus, which is my Roth IRA, and my Fidelity, those are after tax, you know, like investments that I do to save up for retirement for the future. Right. So in total for my savings, I'm going to have a total amount budgeted, which is going to be $500. And that's not including my Fidelity. Like I said, that's already taken off. So I don't have to worry about that. And then we move over to my variable expenses. Now for my variable expenses, that just includes my tithes, which I contribute 10% of my income to my church, but I don't put that amount on there because, you know, it kind of be a giveaway of how much I earn every paycheck. In terms of gas, I'm going to budget for this paycheck $60. Even though gas is going up, hopefully it doesn't go up like crazy like how it's been in the past. I do have a Walmart Plus subscription, and every time you pump at Murphy's gas station, you can get 10 cents off. So that's where I typically will pump, and I'll use that little the app to save me 10 cents. A little bit goes a long way. For groceries, I'm going to budget $125. SunPass is going to get $25, and eating out for this month I've budgeted $140. So for eating out, I've allotted in my budget where I want to, you know, hang out with my friends. I want to at least have some enjoyment or something to look forward to. I think it's really important. Even if you're on a journey towards paying off debt, you're on a financial journey where you want to be more responsible with your money, or you're cutting back on certain things, you should also put some money aside for you to enjoy things, like whether that be going to the park, going to the movies, hanging out with friends, having a date night. I think it's definitely important to, you know, within the means of your budget for fun things. And for me, that is eating out with my friend. Once a month we go to a really nice restaurant. I might, you know, pick up the tab for the both of us. I don't necessarily have to use the entire $140, but with the way going out and eating out is at restaurants, it's really expensive. So I just, you know, figured out budget for $140, and that could also change. I may add a little bit more or maybe decrease it. Well, I'm not trying to add more to it. I feel like $140 is more than enough. So yeah, so we'll keep it at that. My next category are my cash envelopes, and for my variable expenses, I put 3 categories here with little envelopes. So those are categories that I'm actually carrying with cash, but I just didn't have space to write those there. So they're under the variable expenses. So for my annual binder, I'm allotting $133 for that. For my sinking fund binder, it's getting $65, and my month ahead binder, I'm allotting $20. The last 3 categories that I have here, those are from my personal binder. So for coffee this month, I'm giving myself $4. I know $4 is not even going to, like, I don't even think anywhere sells like $3 cup coffees anymore, but I'm just gonna put $4 in there because I usually budget like $8 for the entire month for coffee for myself, which I know is really ridiculous, but I don't always get coffee. So hopefully I can let that, you know, $4, $8 accumulate in my little coffee envelope and then treat myself, you know, once in a blue. So that's my thought process, and hopefully I won't have to increase my budget, but we'll see. For spending, I'm going to give myself $10, which again, I feel like for me, it seems really ridiculous. But the reason why these numbers are super low is because I am on a no spend for the month of February. Spoiler alert, I have spent money. I have broken my no spend. But I'm really trying to, kind of focus on saving. I did a lot of spending in December and January, and so I want to kind of face reality and look at my numbers and see how much money I'm spending. And I want to kind of prove to myself that, girl, you can stay within your budget. Like, you really don't need to be out here overspending. So that's why, my spending amount is pretty low. But I didn't limit myself for my eating out. I budgeted my $140. I sure did. And then for giving, we're going to do $5 in my giving envelope. So remember when I said we'll come back to family? So for family, initially I wanted to budget $200, but based on all these other things that I had to budget, because usually paycheck number one, the first week and a half is really bills heavy. So if I did do the $200, it would have pushed me, I would have been over budget. So for family this month, it's getting $0. And so for the next paycheck, I have a little bit less bills that's coming due towards the end of the month, so I'll be able to put the full amount in there. But for right now, it's just not getting anything. And typically I give $100, but I don't think I budgeted the $100 for January, so this is me catching up in February because I owe $200 to my little family budget. And that's basically it for my budget. I really do and I realized that I would be overspending because I do a preliminary budget. Did I say that word right? Preliminary, yes. So I did a preliminary budget before coming on here. I typically do it on my iPad. And then I was like, oh my goodness, I was really over budget. So I had to kind of just tell myself I'll put this amount in the next paycheck and we should be good. So if my calculations are right, the total for my fixed expenses is going to be $1,453. And then for my variable expenses, we're going to have $350 for the total. My savings pretty simple, it's $500. And for my cash envelopes, I'm going to be having a total of $237. So when we do my paycheck budget summary, we're gonna do my total income and then look at what the remaining balance is. So hopefully we have either a perfect budget where we have $0 left over, or we are in the positive. We do not want to go into the negative. So I'm going to take $2,549.25, and then my total for my fixed expense, let me do my savings. My savings for this category is going to be $500 for this month, for this first paycheck. My total expenses, that's going to be my fixed expenses plus my variable expenses. That's going to be $1,803. And for my cash envelopes, I'm going to have $237. So when we do the calculations for my total income minus all these expenses, I should have $9.25 left. Now, if you're someone who does a zero-based budget, you will know that you want, your end result to be $0. But I like seeing a little surplus at the end of remaining balance because I use that as a buffer. I really want to be a zero-based budgeter, but to be honest, I really don't think that I am, because I always have a little extra and I'll just keep it in my savings or in my checking account just as a buffer. Sometimes I will put it towards debt, but the only debt that I have currently are my student loans, and I'm not really focused on paying that off. I have paid off a lot of debt. I paid off my Grad Plus loan, and I also paid off all my interest. What I have now is just my Stafford loans, which is the huge chunk of my student loans. And yes, we're gonna focus on that once the repayments start. But for right now, we're just doing the bare minimum with that one. So yeah, so that's basically it for my paycheck budget breakdown. So let's put that back here. Alright guys, so like I mentioned earlier, that's basically it for my paycheck one budget breakdown. If you guys have any questions, you can let me know. I know the video was kind of all over the place. For this paycheck, I definitely have some categories that I might have to pull some money from because we did a little bit of overspending. But when I do my cash stuffing, I will kind of talk about that more. And then when I look at, like, you know, what my trend has been for spending for the past couple days, we'll kind of make some adjustments. But thank you guys so much for checking out the video. Again, consider subscribing if you are not, so you don't miss any uploads. And thank you and have a wonderful day. Bye guys.